My name is Margaret Hamers. I work for Racine County in Wisconsin, and I'm the Assistant Finance Director. Prior to starting to use Spreadsheet Server, our auditors actually did a great big chunk of our financial statements just because there wasn't a lot of staff time to be able to dedicate to doing it. I started to pick up pieces of it on my own when I started, and it got to be a little overwhelming. A single journal entry could have 20, 30 lines depending on what area of our financial division it was in. And trying to chase 20 to 30 lines worth of a journal entry through a financial statement to make sure you changed all the appropriate lines takes a lot of time. And with our auditors coming in, we were really making journal entries right up until the very end. So there could be several changes within a day, and I'm rerunning statements several times over, trying to keep them current for our auditors to be doing their work. Now that we've got Spreadsheet Server, it's easy enough that I can go in and post a journal entry, I go right back in my financial statements and they're automatically updated. I don't have to worry about, what 20 areas did it hit. I don't have to worry about picking up each of them, retotaling everything, rechecking all my balances, making sure everything still reconciles. I know it will. So it's saved a lot of time to, instead of spending all my time re-verifying data I've already looked at to make sure that it still balances and reconciles, I can now spend my time on updating what I need to update and moving on to the next task and creating a new report or getting the auditors the next work paper. So it's been a lifesaver. Started out that I was the only user of the Spreadsheet Server program in our office. Being a governmental entity, there's just not a lot of budget funds for things all the time. So we started out with just a small number of licenses, and I was able to show another group of employees in another area what could be done with it. And it was great because I went to her desk, we opened up a log me in session to go to my computer, and I pulled up my financial statements and changed them to the current year. So everything automatically updated to 2013, whereas before it was the prior year information. Well, then she had a large journal entry that they're getting ready to post. So I told her, go into JDE and post your journal entry. She posted it. We went back to my computer through the log me in and looked at it, and all the numbers that it updated. I didn't have to touch a thing. It just did it for me. So right then and there, she was, I'm sold, I want a copy. Somebody would generate a report out of JDE, hand key it all into an Excel spreadsheet, and it's several rows and columns and worksheets, 20 worksheets in a book, and every one is massive. So it would take forever just to hand key it in, and there's prone to data entry errors. And it would take, I think by the end of it, a couple of weeks just to get everything in and checked and make sure it's still reconciled and balanced. So now with the Spreadsheet Server, by adding it into their machines, she can go in, easily run a report, and they're done. They don't have to spend all those days making sure it balances and that things were entered in right. And if they have a journal entry, they can quickly enter it in JDE. It updates automatically on the statements. So now her time can be spent looking at, do my numbers make sense? Are they where I think they need to be? Rather than, does it balance out to zero? So we've started to use it for our monthly budget to actual reports. I can distribute it out to just the department heads, their own department. Whereas previously we were never able to do that. The departments, we left it up to themselves to be able to go into the system. In that case, they only had inquiry access a lot of times, so they were taking screenshots, they were hand keying their numbers in themselves into an Excel worksheet. Now I'm able to go and I've created a sample report or a template, and I've set up the distribution manager to send each department head their own income statement and balance sheet basically in Excel.